Hello, this is Dominic Steele from Christians in the Media and from Village Church in Sydney. In this Reading the Bible segment, I'm going to be taking you through the book of Numbers, and today it's Numbers chapter 1. So I want you to imagine yourself back in time, and we're just after God rescued Israel out of the land of Egypt. And just to locate ourselves, Numbers 1:1, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting in the wilderness of Sinai on the first day of the second month of the second year after Israel's departure from the land of Egypt. And very interesting, the first thing that happens is that God tells Israel to conduct a census. See verse 2, take a census of the entire Israelite community by their clans and their ancestral houses, counting the names of every male one by one. You and Aaron are to register those who are 20 years old or more by their military divisions, everyone who can serve in Israel's army. Now, in Australia, we have a census every 4 years, and the purpose of the census here is so that the government can find out information, how many kids are being born, what sort of services are required. But back then, there were two reasons for a census. First, that we tax you, and second, that you fight for us. So it would have been very tempting back then to hide from the census. But God has said to Moses, number the people, list their names, and the key question is, who can fight? And then there was one tribe that wasn't to be counted, the Levites. See in verse 47, but the Levites were not registered with them by their ancestral tribe. These guys, the Levites, they're the priests. They're not to be counted for potential army duty. They're not to be fighters. They have a different responsibility. What are the Levites to do? Well, verse 50, appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony, all its furnishings and everything in it. They're to transport the tabernacle and all its articles and take care of it and camp around it. Now, there's something very important being said here. God says, count my people. List how many I've got to follow me. And count this group of people to especially look after my affairs. For I am going to dwell with my people. See, the tabernacle is where God dwelt. And we see here God is dwelling with his people. God is present with his people. God is camping with his people. Now, just imagine how this would have felt. The God who said at the start of the Bible, let there be light. And there was light. And then just a year and 2 months ago, this same God spectacularly intervened to save his people with 10 plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, rescuing his people Israel from Egypt. Then he spoke to them from the mountain, and Moses mediated between them and God. But now the Creator God is present with his people, dwelling with his people, living with them in their midst. What a privilege for the people of God to have God present in their midst. And it's the same today, in that in Jesus is present with us, dwelling with us. See in John's account of Jesus' life, first chapter, these words, John chapter 1 verse 14, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling, his tabernacle. He tented, he camped amongst us. God dwelling with us. God came to live with us on earth as a person. And then at the very end of the Bible, the picture of the new heavens and the new earth, Revelation 21 verse 3, I heard a voice from heaven saying, now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be their God. In Jesus, God is present with us, dwelling with us. Next time in this series on the book of Numbers, we look at the whole subject of the faithfulness of God.